Hello, hello, everybody, everybody. What's cracking? What's happening? What's going on? How is everybody doing? Guys, I make a lot of cat videos. I do. I sure do. Let me make sure I'm live. Oh, yeah, I'm live. There's a Bluetooth, though. Oh. Give me a sec. Give me a sec, guys. We'll get into it. Give me a sec. There we go. There we go. We can hear myself. All right. Now that we're live. Hey, so, guys, if you don't know, I've been on the internet for quite some time, guys. Quite some time. Now, I have got to say, probably like, man, it's been so long. I don't know, maybe 15 years ago or so, we had a cat named Freddie. And Freddie was everything to me. And he was just everything to me. He was my childhood cat. I believe he passed away when I was 20, 25, 26, something like that of that nature. And ever since he passed away, my grandma just missed him so much. And I told her not to get another cat. And she got another cat just like it. But this cat that she got just like it, I didn't feel for it. I didn't like it. I didn't like it had a pudged in nose, and she's like, "That's Freddy, it's Freddy." I was like, "It's not Freddy. Like that he don't look, he has something wrong with his face." And I don't want a cat, like I'm very very picky. I want a cat to look like a cat, but there's some cats that have like a pudged in face or narrow snout, and it kind of throws me off. Like, so yeah, I knew that cat wasn't gonna last long because of the pudged in face. The cat ended up surviving. Like, it sounds so wrong, but the cat ended up living to be like maybe 4 or 5 years old because of the health conditions. So apparently that cat, and I knew it, but that snout, that's why I'm very very picky. That snout, I knew that he was going to have breathing problems. So he had breathing problems, he had asthma. So that's very expensive, having to have asthma, what do you call it, thing for the cats. So as time grew, he got worse and worse and worse. He couldn't breathe, and he was overweight, and he finally passed away. Now, my grandma's all like, "I want another kitten just like Freddie." And I'm all like, "Stop replacing Freddie. Freddie cannot be replaced." Like, Freddie was in our lives back in 2013, 14, or something like that of that nature. Because you need to grieve. Like, I know you miss and want that same feeling. Like, a lot of people do this when their animal passes away. A lot of people. They miss that feeling. They miss that, I don't know, they just miss it, and they want it back. And the way to want it back is to get another animal. I don't know what the theory is. I've never been that type of person, because that's how it rolls. That's how life rolls. So, my grandma. Okay, hold on, give me a sec, guys. Some people like to touch my car when I am live streaming, and that's no bueno. Okay, so, where's my matter of fact, where are my keys? Just in case. I think they're in the front. But, But yeah, so that's what a lot of people like to do. So my grandma has been wanting a kitten, just like Freddie. The one in the picture is the kitten. Yeah, we'll get to that in a sec. Plus, I'm gonna be here for 31 minutes. I kind of want to make it shorter, but we'll see. And if anybody joins, I'll stay here a bit longer. But so she was looking this year. She says she kept saying, well, because we had the little kittens, guys. If you haven't seen my last video, go watch it. It's about the little kittens. Well, the last video about the little kittens. And one of those kittens ended up staying with us, which is the white kitten that ended up surviving out of all three of them. So she liked that kitten. She started to love the kitten a little bit more. And she's like, I wanted another kitten for this kitten. And I'm all like, golly, I don't I don't know. So I was like, oh, she's still on with this kitten. And I'm all like, it makes no sense to me because when you're old and gray, I'm not saying anything like that, but it does sound bad right now. But if you're around your 70 years old, you got to think for the other people that's gonna have the kitten. Like that's my thought. I'm like, okay, well, if my grandma passes or my grandpa passes, because the cat's gonna live 15, maybe approximately 15, 13 years. So that's what I'm thinking. Like, oh my God, it's gonna be like freaking years from now, and I'm gonna have to take care of the cat. And I was all like, golly, I don't know, I know you want the same kind of cat. I know you want the same kind of cat. So she's like, I'm gonna go to Bark and I'm gonna go to SPCA and go look at the cats. So we went to SPCA. She looked at them, nothing. Everything was black cats, and I told her, I said, the moral of the story, which is weird, and I hope not, but is around winter time is when you see more oranger cats sometimes, but on some behalves it depends on the breed. It depends all on the breed. But around humid or muggy weather, for some reason, a lot of cats produce black cats, gray cats, calico cats. Like they don't produce a vibrant, colored cats. And you're really like, oh, well, a cat's a cat. Well, sometimes people are picky, just like me and my grandma. So my grandma was looking. She's looking. Look, there's a kitten. Nah. She's trying to feel his personality. She's trying to feel the same way. And I'm like, I'm just like, I'm going with it because she truly has set her mind to getting this kitten. And she's just like, I want this kitten. I want him to be at least 6 months old, maybe 3 months or 4. And I want him to have a good personality. I want him to grow on me and stuff. So she sat in the room with one kitten, she says, because I wasn't there, but she kept going almost every 3 days or every 4 days. My grandma kept going to go look at the kittens and stuff to see which one's the right one. So she was in the room with one. I wasn't there, but she told me. She's all like, he looked the same, similar, but he was missing a leg. And my grandma was like, oh no. She felt sad for him. At the same time, she's like, no, I can't keep up with that, because an amputated leg, don't correct me if I'm wrong, but yes, it's gonna be a hassle. Some cats and some dogs, people don't be like, oh, you're so picky, at least adopt a cat that is in need of a home. And I understand, but this is not where we're going. I understand there's animals out there that need homes and stuff, and stop being so picky, blah, blah, blah. We all know that. I know that. She knows that. Everybody knows that. It's 2025. So she didn't want that cat because of that condition, the way he was in. And she's like, nah, it's a special needs cat, basically. And she's not going to be caring for that or anything like that, because when the cat gets older, the cat's going to have a lot of health problems because of the fact that, three-legged animals have to depend on 3 legs. And He'll be like, some people will be on my roach to my channel and be like, I have a three-legged dog and I have a three-legged cat and I don't have no problems. No, that's totally on you. I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying against it. But I'm just saying in the future, some people, that's what they think. Oh, you gotta be educated, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, let me see where am I? 10 minutes. So yeah, I'm just she was just looking. She went to bark and went to go look. They barely had any cats. And she's like, oh, I can't find anything. So then one time so one time I was over here in bed sleeping out of the clear blue sky, literally, because it's very rare. It is very rare that that I pick up my phone and open Facebook. Like, I usually open my cameras first. Like when I first wake up, I open my cameras, scroll through my cameras, look at my cameras, because that's the type of person I am. I'm into the cameras. So when I open Facebook, on the Facebook feed, on my news feed, I have a neighbor. It's a neighborhood group. Like we all live in the neighborhood, and I saw it said any. I think it said. I think I had the screenshot. I should have saved it. But it said, anybody need a kitten? I have a kitten here. Cannot take care of it any longer. And it was the perfect match for my grandma, which is basically the thumbnail of this video. And it was the perfect match. I immediately, like I said, I'm half asleep. It was just random to the clear blue sky. I think it was like around 6 o'clock in the morning, I believe, 7 o'clock in the morning. And that's when I opened that and I screenshotted it, and then I sent it to my grandma and I said, here, this is a good one. And I sent it to her, and then she didn't reply. After the fact, she said, I got him. And then I was like, what? And then she says, I met with the person and I got him. And then I was like, I knew it. I knew she was going to go for it because, I mean, first of all, it's the cat that she wanted. She wanted a orange tabby cat with the beautiful markings and everything else. She wanted that particular cat, a kitten, basically. See, he's about 4 months old. And so it was just like the perfect match. And it was just so random because I was like, that was so random. And I liked him too because of how cute he was. He's a cute kitten. That's what people, I don't know. Is it just me that I only see some kittens and some puppies cute and some just plain vanilla, So it's just like, I mean, some people are picky in this world just like us. What are we going to do about it? But, yeah, so after that happened, I really wanted to see him. I wanted to see how he was and stuff. She said for the first couple of days, the other kitten, that white kitten, and which is, she calls him Miss Kitty, or her Miss Kitty, and that's new Freddie the third, basically. And she said he's very aggressive. He's very aggressive. Now the reason why he was basically put out for adoption was because the person, which this is a fine line for me, guys. People that are pregnant and they're expecting, they should never, ever, 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 ever get a kitten or a puppy because they know better. Because that lady that was, giving him up for adoption, she's like, there's a new baby on the way. I can't handle a kitten. And they just got it like 2 months ago. They just got this kitten. And so like, guys. You know how much that is my pet peeve. That is literally my pet peeve. I'll probably make a live stream about just that. But so yeah, so she couldn't have the kitten anymore because she was expecting, and that lady was like 6, 7 months pregnant or something like that. But the kitten did have some bad habits. You know, he had some very, 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 very aggressive bad habits. He was growling. You pick him up, and then like, especially when he ate. When that kitten ate, oh man, he was growling, you know, hissing and growling and just very agitated and annoyed. And another bad habit he had is every time we would eat, like on the table, anywhere, he would want to get into your food. Like he would want to get into your food, so he would go like you'll try to stop him. You have a plate or like a food plate in front of you, and that his bad habit was to get in front of you so he can eat the food. And every time you swipe him, he was just growling and stuff. So that was another bad habit. He had aggression problems, like really big time aggression. Hello, hello, welcome in. I'm gonna go refill my cup, guys. Don't forget to say hi. I believe the comment section is open. So yeah, he had some bad habits going towards his way, and the only way we can try to fix it is help him out. And eventually, I mean, he was very like all over the place. Like you could tell that he needed some work. As being in like a household like us, we have my grandma has. My grandma has two cats. Got two cats outside. My grandpa has one cat. Like, our whole lives are filled with cats. And then a dog too. So it's a big household. And he would try to scratch the dog as well. Like, and my grandma's dog is going blind. So it's just like, he had a lot of bad habits. He was a cute little thing. He's a cute little thing, but he's got a lot of bad habits. So now, after quite some time, my grandma wanted to get him neutered because we have one female cat that she's the same age. They're about 4 or 5 months. And, we don't want nothing happening. And at the same time, it's the right thing to do. You gotta spay and neuter your animals. So we went ahead. Well, she said, no, wait, did I set the appointment? I think she set the appointment, surprisingly. Usually I always have to set the appointment. So she set the appointment in because it was random, because they said something about free spay and neuter. And I sent her a screenshot, and she got on that. And which is good. They give people opportunities. They give people opportunities every once in a while for spaying and neutering, which is great. So then she went that day. Well, not that day, but it was like 2 weeks out. It was like 2 weeks out. And she went ahead and got him neutered and came home. He has a big old cone on his head. And man, he was all in depression mode because the pill, one of the pills, the anesthesia, he's trying to wear it off. And so after that, he was trying to take the cone off. He was typical take the cone off, trying to take it off. And after he got neutered, and I told my grandma, I said, it's going to be a big change. And she's all like, okay, what do you mean change? Hormonal change. Like, and personality change. So after that, man, that's all, like, anesthesia's already gone. About a month later, well, about a month later, he's finally calmed down. He's not. He still has that aggression in him where he eats. Because oh yeah, he had another bad habit where he used to play with the toy, a little toy, and he would grab that toy and act like if it was only his, and he will just and just he took the toy away from me one time because it was on the floor, and I was playing with him, and then he just took it to the other room, like if it was like a rodent or dead animal or something. But eventually, he got away with those bad habits are gone. Like we can eat in peace. Like before, we will sit at the dinner table or something, eat something, and he'll be all up on your plate. But now he just don't care, and it's all like the way supposedly you're supposed to train them. And I told my grandma that too. Is when we eat, they eat a little portion. You don't have to feed them a lot. It just helps them out, to maintain that aspect of okay, you eating, I'm gonna eat. I'm not gonna get in your food. So his bad habits they're going away slowly but surely. As far as like playing with toys, he it comes in him every once in a while. It comes in him every once in a while where he plays with a toy and then he's very aggressive. He's just like, rrr. But he's playing. He's just very dull now. After quite some time of being neutered, I think he's been neutered for like a month or so. It's been so long, but I've been having my own thing going on as well. But he's not used to being picked up, and my grandma really wants to pick him up, and my grandma says that he tries to scratch her every once in a while, and like his mood changed after he got neutered. And I told her he's gonna have a little different attitude. He's gonna have a little different because the hormones are, they're trying to be there. That he's trying to be a kitten, and but you know, it's just it's very hard to explain, because I've been in a household with numerous animals, and I know for sure that as soon as you clip them or spay them, their personality just kind of like is all over the place. It's all wavy, you know. Different changes in their own body because their body is trying to figure out itself, And the little Miss Kitty, she is all over the place. She's very hormonal right now. It's like my grandma, I think she said that she's made an appointment to go get her spayed, which is good because we don't need, since she's a female, we don't know if she's going to run outside and get pregnant or whatnot. So we're going to take precaution. We, as an animal owner, you always try to do your best and to take precaution and do your best to spay and neuter the animals that you have if they can get spayed and neutered. Some people just like, oh, it's a rat, we don't need to spay or neuter a rat. But yeah, so this is a little story time of my grandma finally found the kitten that she really wanted, because obviously I didn't really want her to get a kitten, but when I fell in love with this one, I was like, okay, I think this is the one because I like him. I actually like him. The other cat, the one that she had, which was his name was Freddie too. He was basically, I didn't have no attachment to him, no attachment. And I'm all like, I have to be attached too. Like I told what did I say? Oh, my grandma got scratched by him because she tried to pick him up and he was growling. He didn't want to be held. But when I held him, he wants to be held. Like I'll scratch him where he wants to scratch and give him all the love. Like I give good scratches, bro. And we got 5 more. Wait, 5 more minutes. can barely see because now I have a privacy screen on my phone, and it's hard to see when I'm on an angle. Okay. Yeah, about 5 more minutes. So yeah, it's just when you find the right animal, a lot of people are just like me, and I'm very picky. Picky about a lot of things. A lot of things. Picky but grateful. So don't get me wrong. I'm grateful for a lot of things. So just be open minded, like I always tell everybody. Be open minded. Just because a person is picky about things doesn't mean they're not grateful for things that they have in their life. Just so you know. So yeah, my grandma's cat now is his name Freddy. It's hard to say his name sometimes because it's just weird. Because that Freddy was my childhood cat, and we grew up with him. And man, that day I was so devastated. Like I ran the line, I ran the stop sign. I was so very devastated that day. I don't even I don't even remember if I was off. If anything, what's people doing? Honking up a storm. The sun is nice and bright over here. It's in my face. But yeah, I said a lot of talking. A lot of talking. But out of all the years that passed by of thinking about it, like since he's like the third Freddy the third, it's like I see him as another cat because my grandma wants to see him as Freddy. And I told him you cannot see him as the same cat. He's got different personalities. But I don't know. You never know. You never know where life's gonna take you with animals. And I personally could only have a couple of animals. Now, y'all know I have a chinchilla and I have a bird. The bird was inherited to me, and the chinchilla, I wanted a chinchilla, so I knew the factors of owning one. I did my research for years. It took me years. Like I wanted a chinchilla ever since I found out about them. Like, and it's I don't know, because I had a ferret. I had a ferret, very loving, compelling. Now chinchillas, they're also like cats. They do their own thing. They don't come to you and love you or and hug up on you. You're like when I try holding Goguru, he tries running away. But if he's in his cage, oh, he don't want to run away from scratches. He wants the love. He wants the cherishment. He wants everything. But as soon as you take him out, he's just like, I want to run away. I want to run. I want to run. So to like every once in a while, I'll let him out in my bedroom, and I'll let him run free because he needs exercise. He can't stay in the cage all the time, or I'll just close off my hallway and my thing got stuck. Or I'll just close up my hallway and the restroom, and I'll just let them run there. But they're not like ferrets. Ferrets are they're more stinkier. That's the only thing I don't want to have a ferret now in my room. But ferrets are more open and they want to play and stuff. But that's the way it is. We live, we look at the animals. Once time passes, time passes. At least you had that moment with that animal. And with this new Freddy, like I said, it's very hard to say his name. His name is Freddy. Freddy the third, basically. But I'm glad that my grandma got what she asked for. You know, a lot of people wish and wish upon something, and it happens for them in that particular way. You know, I'm so glad. You know, I'm happy. She's happy. My grandpa got attached to him too. My dad too. You know, it's just he does have a personality that he has in his own, where he wants to kind of be on his own. You know, he kind of wants. He don't want to. He comes up to people and loves them, but then it's just like, okay, all right, now. You know, of course that's how some cats are. Some cats aren't just loving. Some cats are just okay, okay, stop petting me. I'm going somewhere else. Cats are not for everybody, guys. Cats may be low maintenance, of so you call low maintenance, but they still don't have a lot of companion. And most do. But yeah. Oh, oh, look at that. Okay. It is time for me to go. I said a lot. I'm parched now. So my grandma finally found the kitten that she's been wanting for a long time, guys. Thank you for hearing my story time. It was very interesting for me. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.